The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph and Sean.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's April 12th, 5:32, and some heads of winter are still showing themselves here, hey?
Some heads?
Yeah, sure. Starting it up.
Okay.
New phrase. New phrase.
Some
It's gonna
evidence.
catch on.
Okay.
Yeah. We got this in our parking lot over here at the Stone Creek Plaza, just over by McDonald's. There is, when they would pile the urban mountains up, and it would, well, during winter, they would be sanding the parking lot, this, that, the other. Everything would combine up. They'd make the urban mountains. And now what's left is just a pile of dirty snow, essentially.
Right.
It's dirt. And it's just a dirt pile over sitting and like taking up 3 parking spots over here. So that's lingering around. Have you noticed anything from winter still hanging out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in my yard, I still have, there's anywhere the sun touches, the snow is gone.
Oh, yeah.
But then, of course, there's just this fence shade.
Yes.
It's like, oh, man, can this snow just melt? But when does the sun ever see it?
Right. Same thing. I have an urban mountain in my townhouse complex, and it's right up against the fence. Above the fence line, all melted. Below the fence line, the fence shade, yeah, we're still hanging out. We still got that hanging out. So classic winter thing, still kicking, but slowly melting.
Yeah, please. Just maybe speed up the melting process. Sean, you are a big street view kind of guy.
Love it. I'm always curious about just land everywhere.
So you've heard of Google Street View, but have you heard of Google Sheep View?
I've never heard of that. Is it like a variation of it?
Okay, so it's like somebody is playing a game.
Yeah.
They also are a Google Street View lover, and their goal is to find all the sheep
Wow.
on Google Street View, and so they call it Google Sheep View, and they've compiled a giant list
It's
of
pretty fantastic. I have it in front of me right here.
all the places that the sheep are on Google Street View.
The internet's a fun place sometimes, and this is a prime example of it. We're in Scotland, we're in Croatia, we're in Portugal, we're in Bulgaria, England, the list goes on, and it's just the car driving by open fields with sheep in them. It's
I
hilarious.
love it. Yeah. So do you think that maybe you could help them? You could add to their sheep finding, or maybe you need your own shtick?
Yeah, I'll if I ever come across a sheep on my Street View adventures, whether it's here in Fort McMurray, Alberta, Alaska, wherever I'm street viewing, I can send it along to them, send them a little tip.
Yeah. Tell Google Sheep View that you found a sheep.
I have the ultimate side hustle for someone that could potentially fund the entire year for them if they're up for it.
Okay, I might be up for it. What is it?
Yeah, it's related to spring, and it's picking up a winter's worth of dog turds in people's yards.
Not sure I'm still up for it.
Yeah, see, that's like, I'm pretty sure you could charge a premium for this. You could say a price, and people are just like, yeah, I'll do it. I don't want to do it myself. I think homeowners are just like, I said I was going to pick it up all throughout winter. I didn't end up doing that. And now there is just 5 months worth of it in my yard.
Well, I think as well, you have really good intentions even when the snow starts to melt and you're like, it's still frozen and now I can see it.
Yeah.
And it's just been 3 days of melt. There's no snow left. And now what a mess.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about maybe starting up a little side business, side hustle, and going after. I just I need to figure out a way to stop the smell and efficiently do it.
Okay. Well,
And then charge a premium.
okay. Figure out a way to stop the smell. There's nose plugs. You just gotta, I bet you Mac Island sells them, for swimming.
Right.
And then, gloves.
I need to
Canadian
research it a
Tire.
little bit. Yeah, gloves, and then a picker-upper of some sort. Probably a chisel for the frozen ones that are like kind of in there a little bit.
Yeah, and
But-
maybe like a pressure washer as well for the not
Right.
so frozen ones
Yep.
to kind of give them a little bit, wash the lawn.
disintegrate it.
Yeah.
Pressure
and then-
washer would destroy a turd.
That's okay. It's another way to get rid of it.
The
And
nutrients for the grass.
what can we call your business?
I don't know yet. We're workshopping it right now.
Sean picks up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not it. I'll tell you that much. That's the one that we can cross off the list. We'll workshop it a little bit, and maybe you'll see my posts in the buy and sells really soon so I can capitalize on the market.
I am never more aware that I married a car guy than when spring shows up in Fort McMurray.
Oh, big time. I can believe it.
Yeah, it's just like there are so many things to look at on the roads right now. People are just finally bringing out their beautiful things that they've safely stored all winter long, pulling off the covers on them and taking them for a ride. And my husband and I went for a walk last night, and it was about every 30 seconds he was like, oh, look at that. Look at that.
I totally believe it. And I was saying the other day, we've turned into Bratville for a hot second here because I can't imagine, like, the feeling of having a summer vehicle and just having it sit there 4, 5, 6 months, whatever it may be, whenever you take it off the road, and that first day that you put that battery back into the vehicle, it's all charged up, you turn it on, you're like, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah, put the top down, roll down those windows, let's get some wind in our hair. I mean, I feel like I'm flying when I'm on my e-bike, so I can't imagine what it must feel like to be in one of these fancy cars.
Yeah, or like bust out the quad, the side-by-side, just ripping around. It has to be the best feeling in the world, that first ride. I wouldn't know. Like I said, you have an e-bike, I have a one-gear pedal bike. But that feels great too.
Sean, may I suggest the Beacon Hill? There's a path there that it takes you down to waterways. You could get on your bike. I mean, I don't know if it would be very safe, but you would get that same feeling. Wind in your hair, a little bit of fear.
Toss on my wig, wind in the hair. Feel great.
Sorry, I forgot you were bald. What do you think, Sean? Has spring finally sprung in Fort McMurray?
Yeah, I'll be the bad guy. I'll say it has. I believe we're fully into spring right now. The official day has passed, so not only do we have that on not only do I won't lump you in with me. I'll let you decide later. But official day has passed. The melt is happening. It's not on every street now. The streets are kind of dry a little bit, like a lot of the main ones. And there's just a bunch of things happening in and around town. Potholes, for example. That's like prime spring.
Yeah, and the giant lineup at the car wash.
Yeah.
Because the roads are all of a sudden coming dry, it's like, whoa, that's going to take 2 hours just to get your car clean again.
Yeah, and a life hack for people like you and I, Steph, that are up so early, 24-hour car wash. Guess when there's never a line?
4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning. Just wake up 10 minutes earlier, go to the car wash, boomsies. You don't have to wait in that long line.
Thank you for the life hack. Also, spring in Fort McMurray, all the fancy vehicles that come out of storage. Holy cow.
Yeah, I have a friend who just did it last night. Their like pristine classic car, it was covered up in a garage, and last night he brought out his battery, put it into the car, charged it up, and he brought it home. I was like, all right, it's that time of year. That's when you know. That's when you know.
The brop brop.
Yeah. What about you though? 780-791-1037. You know it's spring in Fort McMurray when? You know it's spring in Fort McMurray when? 780-791-1037. You can text or call. Our Swiftie, she contributed to the conversation. Nick, she said at her gym where she works out, they opened the big door, and instead of doing like basically lines indoors, running a lot indoors, open the big door, go for a run around the block. Do your cardio outside.
That's so fun. I love that. Erin said this, so I guess opening the big door would be bad for her. She says it's when she can't breathe through her nose in the morning. She knows it's spring.
Oh, like allergies, or what are we, or the turds, or everything combined into one?
Maybe she's allergic to turds and pollen and snow mold. There's so many things she could be allergic to in spring.
I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier. So big shout out to Sunshine on Facebook for suggesting this. But the ice cream truck, because last night in my little townhouse complex tucked away, guess who snuck in and did a lap around the crescent?
That ice cream. I don't think that's the ice cream song. That doesn't sound right either.
That's what I heard, okay? And I was just like, oh, right. It's that time of year. They grind, by the way. They grind nonstop.
Do you think there's more than one? Because I saw the ice cream truck in my neighborhood twice last night, and they drive so slow. Like, how do they have time to get to yours and mine?
If it's one person, the grind is incredible, and I commend you for it. There has to be more than one. But it's literally like from sun up to sundown, even a little bit in the dark. They're going to be making sure everyone's fed.
Yeah, they want you to get those Magnum bars.
Yeah. Add another thing to the list millennials ruin, Steph, because the public's coming out for it here.
What do we ruin now?
Tupperware. We're not buying and supporting Tupperware.
Okay, was it us that ruined it, or was the pandemic and takeout containers?
Maybe a little bit of both. I think we could put a case together for why we aren't like buying Tupperware every month or every year type of thing.
And can we also maybe do a shame on you to the Ziploc and Gladware people who invented the don't worry about giving your good Tupperware, just give them this nice,
That's right.
cheap, affordable thing.
Or maybe pat us on the back for taking the hand-me-downs from our parents.
Oh, yes, that could also work.
Okay, we don't want their cupboards to be overflowing, so we took on some of the burden of the Tupperware, and now we're just, it's lasting a lifetime, and that's what we're doing.
And that's what Tupperware wants, is that it does last a lifetime, and if it doesn't, give it back to your Tupperware rep and they'll replace it for you.
How dare you shame us for recycling and reusing? We're saving the earth over here. But the company came out. So it was founded way back in like 1946, Tupperware. Whoa. And so it's been around for a long, long time. But just recently it came out. Their stock price in the last year has fallen 98%.
Oh my goodness.
You can buy one stock for $1.24-ish. So you can invest in Tupperware if you want. But this is another curious part about the article that I was reading. Last year they did $1.3 billion in sales, and that was an 18% decrease.
1.3 billion. Like, they think that they're not going to be able to.
I'm guessing it's going to be much more massive, like when they do their annual report and be like, so and so is happening. Because for your stock to drop 98%, for you to do 1.3, I bet you, God forbid, they're probably in the millions now making profit. But
oh no,
I don't know what the financial side of thing is, but don't go blaming this on millennials is what I'm going to say. Because when you run into a good takeout container from one of the restaurants in town, you keep it.
Yes, I do, and I actually have one that is like the perfect size. It's a double wide.
Yeah,
it's the
double wide.
It's the perfect size. I have one container, make my husband's lunch in there, and then put the rest of the leftovers in it. I use it pretty much every day, and it is a takeout container.
That's right. This is like nature running its course. You know, it was bound to happen. It's not us.
No, I don't know. 1946. I think this company still has some time left in it. And you said the stocks are $1.24.
Yeah.
I don't own any stocks, but this might be my time to get in. One of the most cringy couples on Love is Blind, of course, Irina. Anything she touched turned to ick. But then as well, her and Zack having their moments in the pods. And that moment where Zack decided to sing a song before he asked her to marry him.
I get cringy just thinking about that. Anything serenading. I don't care if you're John Mayer, Harry Styles. Anything serenading makes me cringe so much. And to see that and him singing, I thought it was a joke at first. And then like I was doing one of those things where I was on my phone and watching, and then I saw it, I was like, and I just like was looking through my fingers. I didn't want to watch it. I was embarrassed for him.
Yeah, I don't care if you're a good serenader. If you are John Mayer and you sing a song, great. But if you're Zack with no music and a little bit of vibrato in your voice, it's too much.
Yeah.
But the internet got mad at him not because of this cringe moment, but because he said, I wrote you a song.
Oh, right.
And then it was actually a song by a band.
Yeah, he reached out to producers. He's like, he reached out to the show. It's like, I need the full unedited scene because I'm getting roasted online here saying I plagiarized a song.
Yeah, here's what he had to say.
I have for you here exclusive, never before seen footage from the pods in one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. But not because I plagiarized the song. Here's the footage. I wrote you a song. It's not an original. One of my favorite songs from one of my favorite bands, but I have changed around the lyrics a little bit for you.
There we go.
All right, so vindicated. I'm very interested that Love is Blind actually gave him that footage. Like, I wonder if there was some copyright issues, if the band was like, excuse me, give us credit where credit is due, or what happened. Because I feel like Love is Blind has their footage in a vault, and they're not very good at sharing it.
I wonder if they're such a monster now, like they realize that they have a monster of a show on their hands, that they realize they can do whatever and they'll still be successful next season. Whereas like in the first 3 seasons or so, they were still kind of testing the waters. Like, I wonder if we'll be able to renew for another year. But now it's just such a thing now. They're like, we can release the unedited stuff and people will still, maybe they'll tune in more next season.
Yeah, and I think they probably will. I mean, I have been consuming every last article where any headline is like, Jackie is spilling the beans, Irina is spilling the beans, Micah. Okay, they are never spilling the beans.
You're so old. I love it. They're spilling the beans.
They're spilling the tea. The tea is what I meant to say.
There we go. Now
Sean.
you're up to base. But the main lesson that everyone can learn from this is don't serenade anyone, okay? Video camera or not, don't do it.
I don't think it's a don't do it. I think if you're talented, you can do it as long as you have an instrument and... No? Never?
No, don't do it. Don't do it. For everyone's sake. In the past year, sports gambling has become legal in Canada, across the nation, especially I think Ontario was one of the first provinces to make it happen. And just like online betting, I think you could always go to the gas station and fill out these things called like pro lines. And that's been existing for a long time. Anyways, side story. But the online gambling has just been made legal in the country about a year ago. Do you know anything about this, Steph?
I just know that there's ads everywhere for it. And on TV, you cannot escape 10 minutes of television without seeing a sports betting ad, but I know nothing apart from that.
Yeah, pretty much every commercial break will have like 2 gambling ads in it. It's disgusting. Yeah, it's well, and it makes sense because they're making a lot of money. And numbers just came out for Ontario. This is for Ontario. Numbers just came out over the past year of how much people are sports gambling. And so wagered, this is how much people in the province have bet on accounts that are registered with the government of Ontario.
Okay.
$35.6 billion.
What?
Yeah, that's how much people in Ontario have wagered, have bet on things. And then, so it goes on to say with that amount of money, it puts Ontario in the top 5 across all of North America. So I think sports gambling, obviously Vegas is like the number 1 spot. It's been legal in there for forever. But then slowly some places have opened up. Ontario's in the top 5 across all of North America. It says of that, we'll say $36 billion. The total gaming revenue was $1.4 billion. Now, I haven't looked into like the numbers, if like that's how much they've received. I don't know how much the websites get, how much the government gets, this, that, or the other. But it's just wild to see these $1 billion numbers attached to this.
That is crazy. Now, do you think it's because it's shiny and new, or do you think this is going to be the way moving forward, is that everybody is using their gambling dollars on sports betting?
Yeah. I think it's the way moving forward. It always happened. There was always underground black market like type of ways of getting around things and making sure you get your sports bet in type of thing. And the other thing that I found really fascinating too was the amount of people signed up in Ontario.
Okay.
And so it just says accounts. So maybe one person has multiple accounts, but it says 1.6 million people are active or 1.6 million accounts are active across all of the registered websites in Ontario.
Wow. Okay, I can't remember. Do you know what the population of Ontario is versus like Alberta? We have 14.7 million
in Ontario.
Yeah. So 1 million of those folks are wow.
Yeah, so it's like 7% of the province or so. I'd put a guess on. It's just wild, and to think like I'm like, ooh, I'm going to put $20 on this game. I'm like, I'm such a badass over here. It's like, no, never mind, never mind. I'm a small pea in the pond.
I mean, $20 is still too rich for my blood. So you're a big player to me, Sean.
Thank you.
It's Wednesday, which means it's SPCA Pet of the Week Day.
And always big shout out to Pet Value downtown in Eagle Ridge for making this bad boy happen. Misty, thank you so much for coming in. What friend did you bring with you?
Good morning. We have Raven. She is a 2 to 3 year old shepherd. I'd like to say a little bit of husky in her cross. She's a beautiful girl. She loves everyone she meets. The first thing she did when she seen you guys was flop down for belly rub. So she's definitely a belly rub lover. She walks great on a leash. She's learning every day her tricks and moves. She's a little bit shy today. Even Kim's a little bit like, I know you know this, but she's like, I'm a little bit stage fright maybe. But she loves everyone. She's making friends at the shelter. So just like anyone else, she can be a little bit selective, but for the most part, there's a lot of promise there for her to have a new friend in her forever home. She's just loving, all around perfect dog.
Yeah, I want to say she stands right around your knee level type of thing. She's not by any means like a large dog, but she's not in between medium and large. And I want to say a lot of blonde to her. She has the German Shepherd, kind of shepherd look to her. Very floofy. Got some blonde, light brown, and just a beautiful color. So soft.
Yeah, she's so soft and she's so sweet and so calm. Like, just as you said, walk right in. Hello there. Okay, yep, you've got hands. Pet me, belly rub me. Like, just give me all the love
instantly. But I mean, she does have that shepherd shedding. She did get groomed by Megan at our Royal Canine Designs. She came in and groomed a couple of our guys. But if you're not looking for
a shedder.
I mean, a good brushing every so often will help, but what's a home without, a little bit of love in places.
Bring it everywhere you go. Yeah, she's very trusting. Like, usually some dogs, like, when they show you your belly, they trust you. 2 seconds, trust you.
She'd be the perfect,
rolls over.
With the new TV series coming out as that type of on-air kind of thing. She'll be your perfect TV buddy. Sit down in the evening, go for a run in the trails during the day.
Yeah.
Perfect all around. She's the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And what else is happening with the SPCA?
So not this Sunday, but next Sunday is our 12th annual Walk to End Animal Abuse. So it's just a day for everyone to come out to, gather together and just talk about the importance of making stricter animal cruelty laws. So it will start at 11 with the walk beginning, and we'll do a walk through Thickwood there. It's just a great day to get out with your pet, talk with us, talk with our members of management just on the importance of that. So if you're looking to come out for a walk next Sunday, please do. We'll be at the Rotary House Gazebo in Thickwood.
And Raven is just one of many shelter residents right now, right?
We are still so full, just like all rescues around all over the probably country, world. We just are really looking for people to open their homes and their hearts. If you're really thinking about adopting, please choose to adopt. Come out and meet a friend. If not, please just come and walk. Our staff are just... they're incredible people. They're just, that fatigue from walking. Like, Kim does 70,000 steps a day.
Wow.
Yeah, so she and that's on like a good day. So if you want to come out and just help that, our animals love getting out for walks as well. That would be awesome. Of course, we give them all attention that we have, but we could use some incredible dog walkers to volunteer. So if you're thinking about doing that, you can find more info on our website.
And I will say, if you're in the Stone Creek Plaza in the next 5 minutes, Raven will be looking out the window at the radio station, so you can see her through the window, peering out, looking down at you people watching.
And you can also see her on Facebook Live. We're about to go do that. Misty, thanks so much for joining us.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.